It's only coming at 16, 17. All the other Romans have been 23 and up, but you just never know. I've moved it. It's only on the top. It's very shallow. Another Roman. Tiny one.
Shot, mate, shot.
That's tiny.
God, that is small.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
My little finger.
Beautiful.
Right, and this is the settings I was using on a Roman settlement. Obviously, it's not got all the depth as it would if you was using different settings, but these are designed to get in amongst the iron, to get them little tricky signals in amongst the iron and against iron that are being masked, the targets that are being masked by a bit larger iron. Here are the settings. So, starting from left to right. Okay, so I use the ground. Sometimes I was using ground and I was also using all metal. You just tap the horseshoe to change it. But I probably prefer the ground audio, the ground discrimination pattern. I'm using field mode. We're in M2. Normally the sensitivity is about 24 to 27, depending on how sparky the machine is. Yesterday I was running at 24. Okay, let's go into settings. Oh yeah, we're using M2. Okay, let's go into the settings. So, menu. At the start, obviously, that's your frequency shift. Last one I used was obviously 10. To do that, to do an auto, just push the bottom middle pinpoint button. And that automatically scans for the most clear frequency. So it's easier for you to detect without getting all the false signals. There you go. I go across now. This is your recovery speed. I had that on 8 yesterday. If you tap the pinpoint button down below, and now comes up with your stability, and push left or right, and your iron filter, iron bias. Yesterday I was using, these are quite low. I was getting tricked by some of the, not massive iron, but smallish iron, mid-size iron. It was tricking me a bit, and I had to use the ferro check to tell if it was definitely iron. And when it was completely full to the left, it was 95% of the times it was iron. If it wasn't all the way to the left, if I can show you, there's your ferro check. If it wasn't full, completely full, and there was a few of these popping up every now and then, I was having a look, and sometimes it was non-ferrous targets. So only use the ferro check and be fairly certain it's iron if it's full, completely full. If you're going across the signal and it keeps coming up 1, 2, 3 on this side as well, it's worth having a look, especially if you're on a prime bit of area. Chance of the goodies coming up. So yeah, I'll go through. I'll recap it all after. So 8 on the recovery speed. You can adjust that to suit the ground you're on. If it's not too contaminated, you can lower that. If it's really contaminated with iron, you can higher that. I wouldn't go into 10. It seems to drop off quite quick with the depth. So use about 6 to 9 for normal searching. Okay, this is your volume. Have that on full. Push the pinpoint button and it comes up with the audio gain. I had that before. It goes all the way up to 6. Everything sounds the same and everything bangs out. But by having the audio gain all the way up at 6, you also, it's an amplification. So you're amplifying the signal. But what you'll also do, if you've got any EMI or people are detecting around you and you're getting a bit of falsing, it amplifies the falsing as well. So you can adjust the audio gain to suit the environment. 4 is quite nice. I'd leave it at 4, I would, unless you're getting pestered. Okay, so push the pinpoint again to go back to the settings and go across. These are the main adjustments. So like I said, I like to use a 2-tone. Push right. Nice is the volume, so you go up. The iron volume, which is where on the left hand side, I've set it 3, and then maxed out on the second audio, which is the non-ferrous. Okay, let's go across to the tone breaks. So tone pitch. So the iron tone I've got set at the pitch of 1, and then the non-ferrous I've got set to 27. The signal's bang bang, you can't miss a signal. Now this is your tone breaks. So go back, go across the tone breaks, up. So I've got it set at 8 at the minute. That may change, but what I found by having the stability and the iron filter low, if you have this low as well, lower than say like 6 or 7, which could sort of get away with before, by having the iron filter and the iron stability low, you get tricked a bit more. So I'd leave that at 8. So this is your last segment there that you're going to be changing. So the tone break of 8. So back out of that. You don't need to change anything else. I will just show you the other ones. So you don't need. This is your threshold pitch and threshold tones. User profile. Just push up and OK to save. But it will, once you've saved once, it will automatically save a setting, so I don't need to do that. Brightness of your light, obviously have it at 0, it's off. 5's all the way up, or you can have it so it comes on for a set amount of seconds and then goes off. Okay, this is your vibration in your hand grip. Put that on 1 and it vibrates, brilliant for underwater. That's the underlight torch at the back. Push it up, the torch comes on, push it off. But this is the new feature. So you've got your Bluetooth. Normally that will go up to 2 when I've got my headphones on, but I haven't got my headphones turned on. So off, 0 is off, 1 is for your headphones, and when you've got your headphones on, you can then go to number 2 by pushing up, and it will split it from the speaker and your headphones at the same time. That's that. That's to set your time, and that's how many hours. So far I've done 4 days, 6 hours, 24, 48, 96, 102 hours so far. Need to do more. Yeah, so that's all of the settings on there that you need to be worried about. Let me just show you this. So we come back out. Say if you're talking, let's turn this up now. It's chattery, you got someone who's trying to talk, it's doing your head in. Bottom left button there, hold it down. Audio off, AO comes up, and it's silent. To bring it back in, just hold that down again. Nice little touch, fair play to them, but I always just turn it down for some reason. See, well, it's not easier, but just used to doing that. So yeah, I hope that helps you with the settings. Like I said, I'll quickly do a recap. So field mode is what I prefer for all settings or all scenarios. Ground, I use that 95% of the time. We're in M2. We have the sensitivity a bit at 24 to 27 depending on the interference and stability. We go into the settings. We've got the noise cancel. Push OK if you want to do a noise cancel. Go to recovery speed. You'd have that between 6 and 9 depending on what the ground's like. If you want to go deeper, go lower. Then you push the bottom button. You've got your iron filter. Have that at 2. At first it might drive you mad at 2, so I would go a 4 and a 4. That's mid-range. So you just go 4, 4, and that's still really open. The previous update 07, the iron filter was set at 8, and I was still having a cracking day on the Roman site with it set at 8. That was the standard, you couldn't adjust it. So now this just shows you how much more you can get out of the machine, because you can drop it like I have down to 2 and the stability of 2, and I was getting Roman coins right next to nails in real tricky mineralised soil, and it was banging them out still. But that is quite low, and it is going to trick you. You are going to get tricked by iron. So it's up to you. You could start with that at 4 and the iron filter at 4. See how you get on. If once you get used to it, lower it down. The lower you use the iron filter and the stability, the more you've got to rely on your ferro check, because the good signal you'll be getting, it'll be coming up with a banging signal, banging numbers in 20s, 30s or whatever, but the ferro check will be far right. It's because by lowering this all down, you're confusing the machine a little bit. But it's all a learning curve. Again, like every time they bring this update out, like this update now, V1.9, you've actually got a brand new machine. You know, they could have bought out another machine with the amount of updates they bought out for this, and called it the Legend 2, and people would have been absolutely buzzing off it. But they've bought it out for free, and I'll take them out to them. Fair play to them, because what they've done now, have turned it into another beast, which is brilliant. Right, I'll keep waffling on. So yeah, if you want, you can go. So you do your noise cancel, push OK. Recovery speed at 8, use it between 6 and 9, but I reckon 7 or 8 is a good all-round setting. Your stability, like I said, you can have your stability on 4 and your iron filter on 4 if you want. I will be using 2 and changing that in the field to suit. You've got your volume at 6, and then you tap it, put your audio gain to suit where you want. I would say 4. Push the bottom tick again to go back into the settings. Go across. So you have 2-tone, a volume 10, and a volume of 3. So iron 3, yeah, on the left, and then you push that, and then you want the non-ferrous at 10. Push the tick to go back down, go across, up. Okay, so that's your pitch now. So iron pitch of 1, non-ferrous at 27. Tone break of 8. That's that. So we come back down, save it if you need to, and that's all you need to do with the settings. And you can put your Bluetooth on 2 if you want to split the audio, but that is it. Baffling, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to waffle a bit, and I'm going to edit the bits that I want to keep and delete the bits that I don't want you to hear. I'm going to try and talk about the experience I've had so far with the Legend, how I've been getting on with it, and how I found it. From when I first got it, I was on probably the first software that was available. Yeah, I was. I was one of the first ones to get it. From the start, I was very impressed. There was a few little niggles that needed ironing out, and fair play to them straight away. From what I've said and what all the other people around the world that was testing sort of said, they've listened and they've been updating, as you can tell, because on V1.09 constantly. Some people have moaned about that, saying, "Oh, you keep updating it, it can't be right." They've made a product that's £600 or £700 or something, and it was brilliant for that money anyway. Anyone that you ask who've used it would say it was brilliant for that money. The build quality, everything, and performance. So they've had information off the testers and they've upped it and made it better. Then it's gone out to the public, people buying the products from the shops, and they've been listening to their feedback. God knows how many people have bought it, and I've tried to keep everybody happy. And people on beaches, people on every different scenario you can think from all around the world, they've tweaked it and adjusted it so it performs right in all of them situations, which is phenomenal. There's machines out there twice the price that don't perform as good as that in some scenarios. So they keep updating it, and keep making it better. So when it's gone from when I first had it, which I loved it and I liked it and it was enjoyable to use, I think a couple of updates ago it was a little bit chattery, but I still enjoyed it. But I did notice it was becoming a little bit more sparky. Now, it's not as sparky. This is the V1.09. It's performing well. It's deep. Obviously, you can adjust the settings even more. If someone said it's since they've had the V109, it's not as deep as what it used to be. But that's not the case, because the only reason it might not be as deep as it used to be is because he's messed with the stability setting, the audio gain setting, he's messed with the new features and changed it so it's not going to be as deep. If you can't put your recovery speed all the way up, put your audio gain down, put your iron bias and stuff like that all the way up, and change everything and still expect it to be as deep when you've set it up to go for the small target in amongst iron. So you've got to know how to set the machine up. But I updated to the 108 and I never had a chance to go out and use it. And then within a week or 2 weeks or something, they bought the V109 out. I thought, oh, brilliant. So finally went out yesterday. The last video I've just posted on YouTube was it. And it was a perfect scenario, because I got there, didn't know what it was going to be like, and started swinging, and it was really noisy. And I didn't know if it was modern trash. There were nails everywhere. Didn't really know. Just knew it was really noisy. So I sped everything up, changed the settings, dropped the sensitivity a bit, and started playing with the stability in the iron filter to see if I can get in amongst it. And just as I'm sussing it out, someone shouts out they found a Roman. I'm like, yes, come on, let this be a part of a Roman settlement. For me, it felt as though it had been done in the past. It could have been done years ago, because the amount of iron and habitation and the pottery that was on that field, there wasn't as many coins as you would expect. So it has, in my opinion, been done in the past. So that was more of a challenge to see what I'd missed. So by the time I finished tweaking and adjusting all the settings, I felt like I had it running really open. You probably wouldn't want to run it any more open than that, because you're going to get tricked by iron too much. Now I did have one. No, I used one of the nails. That tricked me, and that was singing like a canary. But when I looked, even if I do it on the ground now, when I look at the ferro check, even though it was coming into something that was like 27, ferro check was full to the left. It was saying definite iron, but the signal sounded so good. But that's because you've got the iron filter and the stability low. It sort of tricks the machine a bit, so you can't rely. You have to put everything together and try and listen to it, how the audio sounds, what the ferro check's saying. Does it sound like a round? You just got. It comes with experience. But I was digging them anyway, just to make sure that the ferro check was correct. And out of all of them on a Roman settlement, all the dodgy ones that I thought was iron, that was singing well, all of them bar one was correct. The ferro check was right. The one item that I did get, which was coming in, I don't know if I got that on the video, let's have a look, was coming in as a 15 or 16. It was a tiny little bit of lead. There was iron in the area, so it did sneak through, so that could have been a coin. But there's no machine out there that tells you exactly what the signal is 100% of the time, so that's to be expected. So overall performance was very good and a pleasure to use. I was there all day. I didn't stop. I had a quick boost, chocolate boost, and off I went again. I really enjoyed it. So overall I had about 6, maybe 7 Roman coins, little bits of odds and sods and the usual buttons and stuff like that. But happy to say that the V109, in my eyes, is kicking ass. It is kicking ass, and I'm going to be doing a comparison video soon. What I'm thinking of doing, so I don't get all the coming to get me now. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a comparison video soon. But what I'm thinking of doing, so people don't say, oh, you set it up, you're cheating, you're doing this and that. Oh, there's no benefit to me. Yeah, I'm doing this for Nokta Macro, I'm doing videos, but I do it for all the companies. So if I'm there's no gain for me to make that one look brilliant and then make the other one look bad. You know, I'm not doing nothing on purpose because it's going to upset the other people. I'm keeping it real, telling it how it is, and the results are the results. But I think this is going to not outperform in every scenario, but I think the Legend, in my eyes, the Legend, the Equinox 800, and the Deus 1 and Deus 2 are the machines at the top of the table at the minute. CTX 3030, but the thing that lets that down is the weight and it's too cumbersome. So yeah, Nox 800, Deus 1, Deus 2 and the Legend are up there as the top 4 machines in my opinion. And I bet you, if I'd done 30 test beds, different types of tests, while pushing them all to the max, the Legend will do good on 3 or 4, the Nox will do good on 3 or 4, the Deus 1 will do better on 3 or 4, you know what I mean? There won't be one that stands out and does everything the best, I don't think. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, probably on one of the big rallies, I'm going to do a test bed of about 20 items and just film and just see how people get on. I'm not bothered if it's who wins, it doesn't bother me. But it'd be interesting for me to see how well. And another thing with that, with the test beds, when people do that on the rallies, what I would like to do if I'd done it, I'd do the test, let everyone go over it and not just say, haha, your machine's shit, haha, your machine's shit. Just say, right then, you haven't got it, whatever machine, whatever you're using, let's see if we can tweak it to perform better and see if we can get more out of the machine. That's a bit more, it's better way to go about it, and not just out there to slag any or all other machines off. They've all got a place. When I first started, I had the Garrett Ace 250. I absolutely loved it. That's what got me into the hobby. Absolutely loved it. Found me loads of goodies. But now I'll probably pull my hair out if I have to use a Garrett Ace 250 because I've used all the other top end machines. But great starter machine. Yeah, I'm waffling now. That's it, that'll do. For my waffle. Yeah. And now I forgot to say something, but I can't remember what it is. Gary Cook. Gary Cook has just got a Legend as well. From when we went away, I think we went to Lincolnshire and we was on a tricky site and I was using the Legend. And he could see that I was putting some nice goodies up, and he's like, I might have to have a look at one of them. So he's actually gone and got one. So I'm going to get down, me, Frag, Gary Cook, John Lydon, probably a few others. Going to go out for a few hours on a day down on Gary's permission, and I'm going to go side by side with Gary, teach him how to use the Legend to get the max capabilities out of it, and I think he's got a treat for us on a real good Roman site. So yeah, that'd be good fun. So yeah, Gary, we're coming for you, mate. I want to show you how to use this Legend, kick some ass. See you later, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope I didn't bore you too much.